The Korean War, June 1950 to June 1951. Korea was under the control of Japan since 1910. After the defeat of the Japanese in the Second World War, America and USSR agreed to divide Korea into two zones along the 38th parallel. The objective was to ensure Japanese withdrawal from Korea. America wanted to hold a free and fair election of the whole country after the complete withdrawal of the Japanese forces. America was confident of victory of Democrats, as two-thirds of the total Korean population lived in the South Korea, which was under her command. However, the division continued and became part of the Cold War. Under the supervision of the UN, elections were organized in South Korea and Seoul was made its capital, and a democratic government came to be elected. The very next month, the USSR organized Democratic People's Republic of Korea and placed under a communist government headed by Kim Il-sung. The American and the Russian troops, after making these arrangements, withdrew from Korea. The North Korea invaded South Korea in 1950, encouraged by the new communist country in the vicinity, that is China and USSR. The interest of USSR was to offset or counter the loss of prestige due to the failure of the Berlin blockade. South Korea to be brought under the communist rule. The UN Security Council called North Korea to withdraw from South. North Korea not only refused but also captured the entire South Korea, barring some territories in the southeast part of the South Korea. America and 14 European countries contributed their troops, and under the UN, a joint army was sent to liberate South Korea from the North Korea. The UN forces drove the North Koreans from South, and the UN mission was achieved. However, the American President Truman ordered the UN army to capture North Korea. The UN army soon captured the North Korea and reached dangerously close to the borders of China. China wanted the UN army to free North Korea or else would be forced to take action against the UN army. Upon refusal, China launched a massive counterattack with over 3 lakh troopers, and by January 1951, drove away the UN troopers from North Korea, crossed the 38th parallel and captured the Seoul once again. The UN force reorganized and once again confronted the Chinese force in South Korea and drove them back to the North Korea. In the meantime, peace negotiations were opened and an agreement was reached to respect the frontiers along the 38th parallel. Impact of the Korean War. Very disastrous for Korea. Over 4 million people died and more than 5 million people become homeless. The rigidity between North and South Korea greatly increased, marred with frequent ceasefire violations. For America, it was just a satisfaction that it could defend South Korea against communists, and for USSR, just the reverse sentiment that it defended North Korea. For China, this was a brilliant military show, announcing to the world of emergence of a major military power in Asia. The relationship between China and America came under the serious strain over this Korean issue. While America tried to encircle China through defensive agreement with Australia and New Zealand, for this purpose SEATO was created, that is Southeast Asian Treaty Organization, which included members like America, Australia, New Zealand, England and France. America got disappointed that only 3 Asian nations, Pakistan, Thailand and Philippines, joined SEATO. China, on the other hand, supported the Indo-Chinese communists in their struggle for independence from France and began to provide assistance to third world countries in Asia, Africa and Latin America. She developed a policy of peaceful coexistence with India and Burma.